Money on my mind, 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 money on my mind. So money is all I think of. Money on my mind, money on my mind.
What up, it's Hugh Flynt, Playboy the Hustler, and welcome to Hugh Flynt's Philosophy. Now, today I'm gonna be talking about this post I ran into, basically talking about the abortion situation, the bill that was just passed in Texas. And so, one thing I do keep noticing, so there's a disconnect between who's more responsible or who has primary responsibility. Who determines whether, that pregnancy is going to go forward or be terminated. So I think every time, somebody says, well, it's the woman's responsibility, she gets to decide if she wants to have a baby. A lot of people switch it up. And that's kind of what happened here. It's a big disconnect. We just got to acknowledge that there's two different types of responsibility here when we're talking about this whole abortion thing. So there's the responsibility of both parents to prevent even creating a life or deciding to create the life. Now that's determined by the two parents, the mother and the father, the way they behave and engage. That is equal responsibility. But when it comes to the actual decision making for birth giving, or whether the pregnancy is going to go on or be terminated, primarily the mother will decide. Of course, the father, the father can make suggestions. The father can say what he wants. The father can discuss what he would prefer. And I'm sure there are some women, I'm sure there are some mothers that will go, along with the father. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about when there's a disagreement, when the mom wants to get the abortion and the father wants to keep it, or the father wants to get the abortion and the mother wants to keep it. So if there's a disagreement, if the mother and the father have a misunderstanding, the mother can always just do whatever the hell she wants, but the father can't. There's two different levels. There's the act, making the baby is one thing, and it's separate from what a lot of people talk about when they say the mother has primary decision making and she should have primary responsibilities for that decision making as well. See, I ran into this post in one of the groups and he had basically reposted this. I guess he reposted this. He was responding to a post from another guy. So he says, to be clear, the irony of all the abortion bills is the complete lack of male inclusion. Women do not magically become pregnant. I know it's both of their responsibility for that. There's a man attached to every single abortion. Why are men not being included in the jail time for abortion? Because this isn't about that. It's about men controlling women. It's an easy topic for white men to flex their power over to remind the women folk that they will always have to kneel to them. This dude is wild. If it were actually about that, we would be discussing early and continuing sex ed, free birth control, healthcare, making childcare financially feasible. Okay, mandatory parental leave, increasing WIC. I don't know about increasing WIC, dog. You're on your own on that one. Hard sentencing. Absolutely. People that do that obviously need all of the consequences. He also said fixing the foster care system and making adoption more accessible. Okay, this is not about abortion, don't fool yourself. Now, what I will say is that he kind of has a point in regards to it not being about that. And so I'm not naive enough to think that every bill that gets passed is directly about that and only that, and there's nothing else going on. But what I will say about the first part, that's what got me like, bruh, you once again want to talk about the act and the actual conception of the baby. Yes, that responsibility belongs to the mother and the father. But once the egg is fertilized, a father, he can chime in, he can say what he would like to be done, and the mother can go with the father saying, or the mother can opt to do whatever it is she wants to do. And so that's why there's no male inclusion of the jail time, because there's rarely any male inclusion of the decision making of the abortion. It's her body, her choice. It's not her body, their baby, their choice. Okay, there's nothing in between there, bro. And so piety, one part is not going or ejaculate. Once again, they put the onus on the man for the reproduction. And so yeah, he's just like, do you see where the arrow's pointed? We have to say, we have no say so in that. Exactly. Common sense, but of course people, they're included, bro. The woman would need. Right. So he's basically saying because the woman would never have to make that decision if she never got pregnant. Well, in all honesty, her getting pregnant is not just the responsibility of the father. Her getting pregnant is not just by one parent. It's both parents. Both parents are accountable for that pregnancy. Come on, bro. It's her body, her choice. She dictates who squirts the club up. Stop it. And that's exactly what he said. Stop it. You grown. You can see. Right. Come on. We don't get a choice to decide. Exactly. Everybody wants to always revert back to, the sex that was had that created the baby. And that's not what people are talking about. People are talking about after conception. Just blame the man. Exactly. I'm really not. Like I said, generally it takes two. Right. It takes two to make a baby, but two people don't always make the decision. It's going to be her decision if the father and her don't want the same thing. It's just going to be her decision. That's just the way it goes, bro. And then they said, you spread responsibility access. You posted a pic that tries to get people to think about how absurd the law in Texas is and added a divisive caption. What did you expect the responses would be? You not want women to have access? Well, okay. Abortions, but it's you wanting men to go to jail for the same, bruh. Posted this because it's dumb. This is my body, but no say, right. Want to blame us? Exactly. What was divisive? Yeah, I didn't see the divisive part either. Her body, her choice. Exactly. She can choose to fix mistakes once made. No one's perfect. Men don't have that choice again. No one's perfect. Exactly. That's all he's saying. Men don't have that luxury to decide. They can try to persuade the woman to be on his team, or maybe they discussed it and they are on the same wave. Men are accountable for their decision. How? She chooses to keep her baby, doesn't want to have to pay. Yeah. Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. That way, I'm speaking on if she chooses to abort the baby and goes to jail. Right. He wants us locked up too. Exactly. She wants men to be accountable for the decisions that women make. And what Delmar is saying is that we are. Because if she wants to get the abortion, then we don't have any say. We just got to live with that. Even if they lock her up, we still have to live with the fact that the baby's gone. And if she decides to have the baby, then of course you're going to be a father. And if you don't be a father, then she's going to get child support. So you're still going to have to pay. And this is all based on the decisions that she made after reproduction. So, yeah, it's always going to be something. There's always going to be your people that's going to try to spin the narrative and try to dump the blame onto the man. They're going to blame the man as much as they can. So let me know what y'all think about that. What would you have done in that situation? What would you do in that situation? Holla at your boy in the comment section. Before y'all slide out, I'm going to need y'all to bang that like button, bang that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so y'all can rock with me every time I drop a new video, you heard me?